When I was a little kid, I almost got kidnapped playing in my front yard. The funny thing is I can still kind of remember this like it was yesterday. And even though I was a little kid, I can still kind of remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that it was a yellow car. I remember that there were 3 people in it. It was 2 guys and a woman. The guy who was driving said, "Hey kid, come get in this car." And then he started opening his door and the guy in the back seat started getting out. Now, I've always been kind of leery of people, so I was getting ready to walk back into the house. Right about that time, my dad opened the door. They shut all their doors and sped off. Now, you would probably think that was pretty traumatic, but that's not the thing I was most afraid of that day. The thing I was most afraid of is that my parents called the cops, and the cops wanted me to describe the car and the people, and I lost my shit. I screamed. I was trying to get away from them because I was afraid that the cops were there to take me away to jail. And the reason I acted that way was my parents' fault, because they told me if I didn't behave, then the police were going to come and get me and take me to jail, and all I would ever get to eat is bread and water. So this terrified little kid did not want shit to do with the cops. Now, the reason I tell you that story is to tell you this. There is a whole generation of kids that are growing up right now that are watching cops being the bad guys. They're watching cops be scary. They're taking away their parents. They're taking away their friends' parents. And they're taking them somewhere that they don't even know if they're even going to see them again. And now these kids are going to be scared. What if this happens to my mommy and daddy? Now, that has to be way more traumatic than what I went through as a little kid, but I still remember that to this day, so I know they're going to remember that too. And this is going to lead to 2 problems in the future. One, that these kids are never going to trust the cops as they grow up. And 2, nobody's gonna wanna be a cop because they just see them as parent kidnappers as they're growing up. They have a bad association in their minds. This is all because of the current administration trying to turn this country into a police state. So people that voted for him, is this what you want? Do you want a whole generation of kids, doesn't matter what color, terrified of the police? Do you want to be in your elderly years and there not be any police because nobody wants to do that job anymore because they just saw them as terrorists? Because this is the future that you voted for, whether you realize it or not. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep on cheering it on, or are you finally going to realize that this was a mistake and we need to do something to stop it? And keep in mind, you cheering it on, having that little blue piece of tape across your back windshield is not going to save you. Eventually, they're going to come for you too. And when that day eventually happens, don't say that you weren't warned.